We need 2 cups of idli rice. If you don't have idli rice, you can also use any kind of white rice, but never use basmati rice. It's not going to come out well. So I have taken 1 cup already. I'm just going to go ahead and get 1 more cup of idli rice over here. And we are going to take 2 tablespoons of methi, that is fenugreek seeds. Okay, 1 and 2. The most important thing whenever we are using rice is rice contains arsenic and it may have some chemicals. Although this is organic idli rice, I'm just going to go ahead and triple rinse it and drain it, and then the same thing with the fenugreek seeds as well. And I will show you guys how to soak it for 8 hours. Alright friends, I have triple washed the rice and triple washed the fenugreek seeds also. So the measurement goes like this. For every 1 cup of rice, whether it is idli rice or any kind of white rice, and we did talk about the basmati rice, never use the basmati rice. It can be white rice, boiled rice, or sona masuri, which is all good, or even raw rice is good, but the rice that I have used today is the idli rice. And for every 1 cup of rice we have to use 1 tablespoon of fenugreek seeds. Since we used 2 cups of rice, we are using 2 tablespoons of fenugreek seeds. Now we have to soak them for 8 to 10 hours, maybe overnight. So I'm just going to put the lid on top of this and I will see you guys in the morning. Alright friends, it's been 12 hours. I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how it has been soaked. And I wanted to show you guys the difference between the fenugreek seeds. So this is the raw fenugreek seeds without soaking. You can see that they are very small in size. And once they are soaked, look at the size of this. It's so big. Like the wheat, it is so big. So there you go, the difference. That tells us that it's very nicely soaked and ready for our process. And you don't want to throw this water. This is fenugreek water. This is also very good for weight loss, and we're going to talk more about that fenugreek tea as well. So why add fenugreek to our idli or dosa batters? Because fenugreek, a lot of people know that it gives you a spongy idlis and very crispy dosas, and had a good flavor to it. But more than that, fenugreek is very good for digestion. It is very good for people who have gastric issues or people who have stomach ulcers, and it has a great immune response too, and it is good for your immunity as well. And there are a bunch of benefits and medicinal properties for fenugreek. Now let's look at our rice. So I'm just going to move this here, and even our rice is done, and as you can see it has doubled in size. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to take a small jar and I'm going to go ahead and grind our fenugreek seeds, and I'm going to add a little bit of water. I'll show you the consistency. Okay friends, I want to show you the consistency, and it has to be extremely smooth and soft. Because it's too thick right now, I'm just going to go ahead and add some water and grind it one more time. Here we go friends, it's a little thin right now, and I used the same fenugreek water that we soaked it in. So you don't want to waste that water. It has a lot of medicinal properties. And I'm going to pour it into this. It's still a little thick, but we are going to add water into our rice, so it's going to do the job. So the next thing that we are going to go ahead and grind is our rice. Over here I will grind it, and I will show you guys how it's done, the texture and the consistency. Alright, showing you guys the consistency of the rice grind. This should not be too smooth. It should be like a little bit of coarse, but not too coarse. So I will show you how it looks. So if you go like this, you can still feel it, but it is still very soft. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it to my methi mix, and as you can see, this is really liquidy, so it looks like I have added extra water, but make sure that it is a little semi-liquid or semi-solid over here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add approximately 1 tablespoon of salt to it, and then we just wanted to mix it well. But don't worry, once it ferments, it's going to thicken up. Alright friends, I have mixed it lump free, no problem. And as you can see, the fenugreek paste has already absorbed most of the rice paste. So if you have accidentally added more water, you definitely don't have to worry about it. Anyway, we are going to ferment it for another 8 hours. So it will thicken up, and then we have to add some more water before we start making our idli or dosa, depending on what we are going to make today. For idli, it has to be a little thicker than the dosa batter, but anyways, this is really cool, guys, and right now it is lump free. And if you're worried about the lumps and you don't want to keep mixing it the way I am mixing it, no worries. When you grind your methi or fenugreek soaked seeds, you can add extra water and you can reduce the water on the rice. You can play around, it is just a practice. And I am just excited to make this healthy methi idli or methi dosas. Actually, I'm planning to make both of them, and I will see you in 8 hours. I'm just going to put a lid on top. I'm going to remove this ladle and put a lid on top and let it ferment for 8 hours. I'll be back. Alright friends, it's been 8 hours. As I mentioned, look at the batter. It's really thick right now, right, even though we added so much of water. So now I'm going to add lukewarm water very slowly. Do not add cold water or hot water. It has to be room temperature water or lukewarm, so it blends well. You don't want your batter to be too thick, and then the idlis will be very hard. If you want your idlis to be spongy, it has to be on the right consistency. Alright friends, now it is at the right consistency, as you can see. There you go. And over here I have my idli cooker here, and I have poured some water into it, and almost 10% of water in the pan, and I'm just going to fill these idli molds, and I'm going to add oil, sesame oil, to all the molds, and then we are going to fill it in. Okay. Alright, here we go. I have filled all these three levels. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my idli cooker, and it will be going into our stove. Close the lid. Alright, here we go. I have put my idli cooker on the stove. It is on medium heat right now, and it's going to cook for another 10 to 15 minutes. It's been 15 minutes and I removed everything from the mold, and just cool it down and wait for like 3 to 4 minutes before you remove from the mold. If not, it's not going to keep its shape. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you how soft these idlis are. And as you can see, the fermented holes in here, and this is simply delicious, guys. And this is the sambar I made today, and we are going to dip it in sambar. You can also dip it with chutney or any kind of side dish varieties. And here we go, your very own fenugreek idlis are ready for serving. I will see you guys in the next video.